You know, I think one of the most criminally overlooked, underappreciated movies the last couple of years. I'm not saying it's one of the best movies the last couple of years, but criminally overlooked and underappreciated was Chris Pine's Dungeons and Dragons movie. That movie was delightful. It was so much fun and so much better than that Dungeons and Dragons movie they made a bunch of years ago. Now, granted, I'm a Dungeons and Dragons player, so I obviously was really looking forward to the movie, but I wasn't biased. They made another Dungeons and Dragons movie and it sucked.
Yeah.
This one was so much fun.
I agree.
The cast was great in it. Chris Pine was like, I thought it was a weird casting at first, getting Chris Pine in a Dungeons and Dragons movie, but you know what?
Too.
He was great in it. Then they got Bridgerton Boy, Pretty Face McGee. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I got him right. Where is he? Right here.
Yeah, but he was also wonderful. I'm just mad because he's so handsome. So much better looking than...
I love how they would bring that out in the movie too.
Yeah, they would. They would, why dodge the elephant in the room? He's far more handsome than any of us. Just acknowledge it and get past it. But yeah, anyway, Michelle Rodriguez was fantastic in it. Justice Smith was really good. I mean, I really liked the whole cast. It was fun and delightful, and nobody went to go see it.
No, I didn't even see it. I saw it on Amazon and I loved it.
Did you?
But I didn't catch it in theaters. So, of course, I caught the stinky one, the other one.
Of course. Jeremy Irons was in that one, wasn't he?
I want my dragons.
Jeez. It was so bad.
That's my way of saying yes. Jeremy Irons was in that one.
It was so bad.
He is an incredible actor, but that had
he's one of the best.
That had to be one of his worst roles.
You know, I did. I think just last week, I didn't get through the whole thing because I was a little tight on time, but I ended up watching a bunch of that movie they did a bunch of years ago, Margin Call. That he did with Kevin Spacey. I really like that film. Anyway, Jeremy Irons is great.
Yeah.
But nobody went to go see Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, it flopped, and it flopped hard. And I think a little part of that was the fact that there was another Dungeons and Dragons movie that people remember, and it was terrible. I think another little part of it is, and I know this is true because in the weeks and leading up to the movie coming out, we got a lot of questions sent into our show about, you know, John, I don't know. I mean, the trailers look good, but I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, so I think I'll be lost. And I think that had a significant thing to do with it. There's just a lot of people who don't play Dungeons and Dragons. Unfortunately, the vast majority of the people don't play Dungeons and Dragons. They probably looked at it and thought, that'll go over my head. And they did such a great job that if you did play Dungeons and Dragons, there was a lot of little subtlety in there for you to really appreciate. But if you never played Dungeons and Dragons, it was perfectly good to watch. But anyway, film bombed, pretty much killed any hopes for a sequel. But maybe hope has returned. Because according to this new story, apparently it is now a bona fide hit on Netflix, even though Netflix is not Dungeons and Dragons' home in North America. It's not on Netflix in North America. It's on Amazon.
Right.
But in a lot of international territories, it's on Netflix. This was Screen Rant had to write about this. Netflix has now announced their chart of the streaming platform's top 10 most watched English language movies for the week of September 30th through October 6th. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves has landed on the chart at number 9, even though it's not even available in America. With 3.2 million viewers amassing 7.2 million viewing hours, which means that just about everybody who started watching it finished it. It has appeared alongside other Netflix original hits such as Rebel Ridge and Uglies. These views have come from a variety of European territories, including Austria, Germany, Spain, Switzerland, and Italy. Additionally, it's the number 1 movie on local charts in Croatia and Serbia. So basically, it's number 9 on their worldwide chart for English language movies without even playing in America, which would arguably be where it would get its biggest audience. So this has some outlets speculating, well, wait a minute, could there be life? Could there be some light at the end of the tunnel for the possibility of a Dungeons & Dragons 2. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Miracle Made. Guys, it's hot outside and your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. So if you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. There are just so many things that make these sheets so fantastic. We already mentioned the self-cooling properties for better quality sleep, but they're also self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. So go to trymiracle.com/Campea. That's TRYMIRACLE.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Here are the things working in its favor. Number one, clearly it's finding an audience globally, right? Even though a lot of people like yourself, Jonathan, didn't go when it was in theaters.
Right.
It's one of these rare films that actually really does seem to be finding its audience globally. Partially, I think, because the reputation of it was that it was a really good movie. Secondly, it was a really good movie. Sometimes, not often enough, but sometimes we see studios willing to roll the dice on a sequel to a first movie that didn't do well, but was really well received, in the hope and belief that maybe if we do a second one now, we'll get better results. And I think that's a possibility. So do I think there is a chance that we could get a sequel to Dungeons and Dragons? Yes. Do I think we will get a sequel to Dungeons and Dragons? No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if the international audience is a big enough market to convince studios to.
Well, I mean, it was big enough that Without America put it at number 9 on the chart, right? And which makes me wonder if Dungeons and Dragons was on Netflix, how high on that chart? If it was on Netflix here, how high on the chart would it then be?
Right.
I don't have the answer to that. The problem, of course, is that Dungeons and Dragons didn't just underperform; it flopped. Now, I don't have the number in front of me. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Dungeons and Dragons box office. Okay, so here's what it did according to Box Office Mojo. Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves made $205 million worldwide, which, you know what, is better than I remember. I thought I remember it making like around 145 or something like that, but made 205. I mean, that's more than its production budget back. Doesn't make up for its marketing budget and the theatrical cuts. It still lost monies. But
right.
So anyway, bottom line is, I think there's a chance. But if I had to bet money, I don't think we will get one. But here's hoping. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Apparently, people are starting to recognize around the world that Dungeons and Dragons movie was actually pretty darn good. Do you think maybe the door might be cracked open here for a sequel? I don't think it will, but I think there's a chance. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.